God, please. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for your grace and your mercy. We ask that you business. We ask that you continue to strive, help us to strive in the way that you want us to do. We ask these and all blessings in your Son, Jesus' name. Amen.
I'm going to call the meeting to order. If everybody would please rise. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. One nation, under God, indivisible, with justice. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
Motion to approve.
Can I get a second? Second. All right. All in favor to approve the agenda? Okay, ayes have it. All right, I think we're to the employee of the quarter recognition. Thank you, Mr. Jackson. It's that time again that we recognize the employee of the quarter. And I have two individuals here tonight that I would like to introduce to you. You may already know them. First will be the certified employee of the quarter, Ms. Kiara Wells. She is the assistant principal at junior high, and as you know, she's a counselor here in this building. And then, so it's her first year as assistant principal. So Ms. Wells, if you'll come forward, I just want to say that she's been in that building by herself all week this year because the principal.
On her own, and so we're real proud of her. And all I can say, Coach Wells, she got the award before you did. Maybe next time, and we'll have to see how you're doing over at the high school. But
that's fun.
We greatly appreciate both of them and kids in the district. So it's a family, and we're just greatly proud of them and glad to have them. So Ms. Wells, congratulations. Now this is the superintendent's award, so it's not coming from your principal, it's coming from me.
All right.
I appreciate you.
All right.
You want to speak? You want to introduce your husband? We all know him.
Coach Wells, my better half, but I appreciate the honor. I've learned a lot this year. I have enjoyed working with Ms. Benefield, and I'm looking forward to many more years to come. It's been great.
All right. Ms. Benefield, you want to say anything? You're welcome to.
Look, it's a pleasure working with Ms. Wells. I will say that I hired her as a first-year teacher, and it has been an honor for her to be with me. It's wonderful. We learn from each other each day. So, thank you, Ms. Wells.
Thank you.
Dr. Smith.
Yes, sir.
Still have no signal. I don't know.
Oh, I think we're good. We're still on YouTube though, right? Yeah, we're still live.
Okay, still live.
Okay. All right, the next employee, this is not technically an employee of ours. He does work for ABM with our custodial crew, but we recognize them as our own, and hopefully we treat them as their own. Looks like he has a cheering section here. We're glad to have these ladies with us. They work really hard as well. I'm just going to introduce him as Mr. Edward because that's what the kids know him about. Edward does a lot for all the teachers over in that building. Congratulations. And he really didn't want to come tonight, so he walked over to my office and said, he actually mentioned these ladies by name and said they were more deserving. And I looked down and the plaque already had his name on it. I said, you don't have no choice to come. So that's a true story. Anyway, you want to say anything? You don't have to. I know Ms. Smith. Pig, are you here for him or to get your job back? All right. Why don't you say a word of Pig since you're here? And it says a lot that you're here on his behalf.
If I can talk, I will.
Okay.
You know, you have people that you wonder if they're replaceable. And this man right here, Ms. Smith would get her coats every week. Or whatever he gets her, he is fantastic for the elementary. We couldn't make it without him, so we're very honored to have him. we're so thankful.
Thank you, Mr. Smith.
He already knows this, but we love him, our kids love him. I always tell him he's in the right business because he can't smell, so when he has to go clean things up, nobody else wants it. He can't smell it, so it's okay. But, he is irreplaceable. He goes over and beyond for every teacher on our campus and every kid on our campus, and we just love him. So he's not going anywhere anytime soon.
All right. Thank
I
you.
like his t-shirt.
I do too.
All right, Mr. Jackson, that's all I have. So, guys, y'all are free to leave, and we appreciate you being here. You're welcome to stay, but I want to give you an opportunity to exit right now if you would like. Thank y'all for being here.
Paul.
All right.
Thank you, thank you.
Oh, t-shirt. You see his t-shirt?
Mhm.
You read
That
it?
was cool.
What did it say?
And there's a jack and then the cleaning part.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's cool.
That's fun. That is fun. All right, so are we ready to approve the minutes from February 1st and from February 23rd, the special called meeting? Can I get a motion to approve the minutes from those two meetings?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, can I get a motion to approve the financial dockets, claim numbers 52915 to 53164? That's the district dockets, administrative dockets, the school activities funds, the financial statements. We'll include the consent agenda in on that. Can I get a motion to approve the financial dockets and the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. So we're now to new business, Dr. Smith.
Thank you, Mr. Jackson. Board members, the first item on the new business is a recommendation to transfer of funds from Ms. Griffin. Ms. Griffin's here if you have any questions. Would you like to say a word or two about that?
This is our routine 16 sections. Other school districts, we have 3 other school districts that we share with. They provide an educational children's list. And this is where we divvy up all the 16 section interest and principal and share with ourselves and other school districts. And these transfers allow us to move all the money around to ourselves. And the school districts are on y'all's docket for tonight.
All right, any questions about the transfer of funds? Can I get a motion to approve the transfer of funds?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Jackson. The next item, the superintendent recommends the approval to utilize ESSER residual funds to allow interventionists to continue working through testing without a reduction of our hours. Mr. Hallmark is in charge of ESSER funds. He can explain that to you. Mr. Hallmark, if you kind of just let them know what you want to do on that, please.
We had an assistant teacher who been paid for ESSER, and they had to leave early in the school year, so we had that money remaining. We had another assistant teacher at junior high, and her hours would expire, the amount of hours that she could work based on what her funding source provided for her. Her time would run out before we got through testing season, so we can utilize these funds to pay for that. It's all approved, it's been approved by MD, and all we have to do is just affirm it here with the board, so that we can proceed. It's federal dollars, and approve the use of the funds for that purpose is just going to another school as opposed to the elementary school where that person was housed.
Any other questions? Can I get a motion to approve the superintendent's recommendation to utilize ESSER residual funds?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, Mr. Jackson. Next item, the superintendent recommends the approval of the North Pike School District Boardroom and Professional Development Building bid from J.E. Stevens for renovations you had this information in your packet. If you recall, this has kind of been on our radar screen for a couple of years. You've given me permission to different board votes to proceed with this, and now it's back before you. The way the process will work, just as a reminder, if you approve this tonight, then in April, I'll bring the actual contract back to you after your board attorney reviews it. So we're not signing a contract with them at this point. You're just approving the bid. The contract will be on next month's agenda after the board attorney reviews it and gives his blessing to it. Just for clarity, in case you didn't quite understand the bid process there, we did add the elementary windows at the lower, the ones we did not complete up through this first building project. There's an entire hallway over there that still has the old windows in it. So we added that to this bid, and that's the total bid there that you received was $1.1 million for the central office and to complete the windows. So my hope is if we approve this project and proceed with it, we'll be at a point where we'll be about all that we can do, really, other than just maintain. And most of our extra money will be gone at that point. So that's before the board. And again, that's your pleasure, one way or the other.
All right. Can I get a motion to approve the superintendent's recommendation for the North Pike School District Boardroom and Professional Development Building bid?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you very much, board, for supporting us on that. We do greatly appreciate that. Mr. Jackson, the next item, superintendent requests permission to seek proposals for the district's financial auditor. If you have any questions on this, I think Tina has to seek these out every year or every 2 years.
We have to, we can't have anybody longer than 3 years. We had somebody for 3 years. This is our 1 year guy. And so we have to put it back up, and see if we're gonna take him for 2 more years or seek somebody else for 3. So it's just a process that he only had 1 year. So, we just need a permission to seek proposals for the next year or multiple years.
All right, can I get a motion to approve the superintendent's request permission to seek proposals for a financial auditor for the district?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, Mr. Jackson. Board members, the superintendent, letter E, request permission to seek the following bids for the upcoming school year: bank depository, diesel fuel, propane gas, and tank rental, and gas, fuel gas. Just as a reminder, when we bring these back to you next month, hopefully with bids, you know, we ran into propane. I think last year we didn't get a bid for a couple of months. But regardless, we'll have to bring these back to you and you'll approve those separately at that point. So that's before the board, and this is what we do yearly.
All right, can I get a motion to approve the superintendent's request permission to seek the bids for the bank depository, diesel fuel, propane, gas, tank rental, gas fuel?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Mr. Jackson, the next item, the superintendent presents the North Pike School District Board policies G through J for review. No action. You do have those hard copies before you. Do you have any questions regarding that? Just email me. Not reading there, Mr. Tapper.
Yeah, I said we need 2 months to read that.
All right. Mr. Jackson, if it's okay with you, we'll move on to letter G. Superintendent presents the 24-25 student handbook for review. I did talk with the principals. We went through that process. You're going to see really no changes. And you may have some minor tweaks here and there, but nothing that's going to alarm you. I don't think the changes are highlighted. Part of that discussion was we would, not that you don't read your handbook, but we do want you to read your handbook and make certain that you just double check us, grammar, typos, anything there that you don't quite understand. Well, you'll understand all of it. Anything that sounds kind of funny, whatever, just give me a call and we'll clarify it and we'll make it right. So that's before you for the next 30 days.
Okay, is this just K6?
No, you should have K6 and 712.
You just have to
We
be.
have K6.
All right, these may be the 712 here.
It is.
Okay, all right, we have them, I'll get them to you. Let me do that now so we don't forget.
Hand me that, I'll pass
Oh,
it
okay,
down.
thank you.
Couple more 100 pages on that.
All right,
All right, at this point, letter
I think
H,
this is you here.
I'm going to step out on letter H. Turn it over to Ms. Richardson.
Okay.
Okay, we'll wait on you for I. Ms. Richardson, letter H, superintendent recommends the acceptance of Wes McCullough's resignation from assistant soccer coach only, effective at the end of the 23-24 contract year.
Can we get a motion to accept his resignation for assistant soccer coach only?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Go get Mr. Jackson.
He said he was going to use the restroom and be back, so we can pause here if you would like us.
Perfect, that sounds good.
Come on.
Yes, sir, we're good.
We're to letter I.
Yes, sir. Mr. Jackson, added to the agenda tonight was a board visitation discussion, requesting one of our board members, so we can discuss this as a group. I'll just kind of turn it over to the board. My stance in this is you just tell me what you want me to do as superintendent, and we'll make it happen. Board visitation, of course, is something that's strictly in your lane, and however how you decide to do that is what we'll do. So, Mr. Jackson, that's before the board as a discussion item.
So I don't think she mind. Ms. Richardson asked to add this to the agenda. And something for us to kind of all try to get together and try to do a visit before the end of the school year's out, while the students and teachers are all still there. So I guess, does everybody want to do that or not? We start with that, and then when can we do it, I guess is the second thing. I have no problem doing it. So do we have any questions about whether we want to try to get together and do it as a group or not? Is everybody good with that idea?
Yes.
Okay, so for me, I may squeeze this a little bit with this, but I'm the week of the 13th through the 17th. That's about the first time of May, I'm sorry. First time I can designate a day,
That
if
works.
that's okay with everybody. I don't mind which day of the week that is, but that's the first week I have where I can shut down and do.
I think that's a good week for the schools. Testing will be over. Here in a couple of weeks, we're going to get into state testing, and none of those days are good. You don't want to be in the building during state testing.
End of the week would be better for me, a Thursday or a Friday. I could probably make another day work, but those would be better for me.
Thursday would be better for me because Friday's graduation.
Oh, okay, I didn't realize Friday was
Is that
graduation.
May 16th?
Yeah, so the 16th is better.
Is the 16th okay for you, Fred? Is that,
That's fine
You
with
good?
me.
all right.
All right. Do we need to vote on that? Or do we just need to agree with that?
No, we have to vote.
Can I get a motion to approve a board visitation to the campuses for May 16th? What time do y'all want we can get started?
I'm good. Y'all want to do the 9 o'clock?
That sounds fine to me.
9 o'clock, all right, at 9 o'clock. Y'all want to meet at the central office? That's not part of the vote, I guess, but is that?
Yeah.
Okay,
Because we can walk.
all right.
Motion to approve the board visitation date of May 16th, 9 o'clock.
Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
If the board will just give me a little leeway, I'll do an agenda and get it out to you so we can kind of stay on track and be able to get to all schools make that happen. So I'll get that together, and we can just do that through text. I don't think it'll be a problem. So we'll start at 9, and we'll try to have lunch for you and spend the day with you on the 9th, or excuse me, on the 16th, starting at 9. Mr. Jackson, that brings us to superintendent's items of discussion. I'll proceed if that's
You go
what you do.
right ahead.
Okay. 16th section update. I want to give you an update on our 16th section property that we rezoned, if you will. If you recall, we did 83 acres. We did 60 acres at one point, 20 acres again, and then we came back and added 3. I do want to just share with you some things that we've done. Let me go back and show you the old pictures, if I could. It's just showing, just got ViewSonic there. I'm giving you an email that I sent to Mr. Sam Mims. I reached out to him, asking for a little assistance with this. Before we get to the email, just kind of let me remind you, this was the condition of the property. If you recall, when we showed it to you the first time, if you remember, we had a trailer there that was being leased out. Go again, if you would. We did realize, go back to that if you don't mind. This building here used to belong to Lions Club. So at some point, there was the Lions Club leased that property from the district way back when, and this was a booth where they had horses and cattle, and this was their booth that they did their kind of like they had their microphones set up and everything. And so I don't know if y'all remember that as kids or not, but Ron Fortberry found that out. So we know that because a lot of the material that's there is from where it's the ironwork where the cattle and the horses used to be.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I thought that was interesting. So keep going if you would. Just another picture of what that property looked like. All right, keep going. All right, this is one of the ponds that we cleared. If you recall, I mentioned to you that we had 2 ponds on the property. So that's one of the ponds where we've cleared at this point. So at this point, we've only spent $12,000. You allotted me $50,000 in the board vote a couple of months ago. So $7,000 of that went to, we got the folks out there to mark the property lines for us. So now we have a survey and the legal description of all 83 acres. Because if you remember, they were separated. And then another $5,000 went for some clearing. So we've only spent $12,000 of that. So if you would go to the next one, just some of the trails that are out there that we've cut. Again, that's the pond. Let me show you where we cleaned up that other, go to the next one if you would. I think that's where all the debris and stuff was. So you can see that's all been cleared out.
That building in the background, is that?
That's the building that I
showed us, yeah.
I was showing you. So we've
Okay.
got to get rid of that. But anyway, I just want to let you know there's progress being made. I don't make any big promises. I don't know where this will lead. Let me just tell you what the vision is. I did talk with Mr. Mims and asked for any help that he would give us. It's the only conversation I've had with any of our elected leaders at this point that I've had, but I'll share with you something in just a minute. So the vision here is I came up with this name. I don't have the authority to give it a name, but I had to give it something because we're going to have to start applying for grants. At some point, the board have to come back and give it its proper name. But the vision was to establish the Southwest Mississippi Outdoor Environmental Learning Center and cross-country trails owned and operated by the North Pike School District, but providing access to Southwest Mississippi school districts for environmental field trips. So a total of 80 acres, that's really 83 acres. Location, again, we have accessibility from Highway 98 and Cole Thomas. And I won't read all this to you, but you'll kind of see what the vision is, if you will. So I've asked for his help there. He didn't promise, didn't say yes or no, said he would do what he could do. And we'll see how that turns out. I will say that Ron Fortenberry has been before our Board of Supervisors, and they have They're giving us 10 loads of gravel to begin our parking lot and trying to find a place for buses there to park. So that's 10 loads of gravel we wouldn't have to pay for. So they have already proved that at their meeting, so we're grateful for that. I'll just say to you that he's also talked with the Forestry Service and has met with them out there. They're going to assist us in a lot of this and clearing and doing some of the debris removal. And Dr. Ryder has been in contact with Mike Bowfield, who used to work for MDE. He's real into getting grants and knows how to kind of work this process. So we've got a lot of folks working on this. But again, a year from now, it may still look like it does today, but we're going to give it a shot, kind of see where it goes. And with that said, I do have a note here that I want to mention. The CTC just received a $90,000 grant today for Blue Cross Blue Shield to do some things with agriculture. So that's a non-matching grant. I'll bring that back to you in April to approve us to accept that. Some of the timing was not perfect, so I was not able to get that on today's agenda. But again, that's $90,000 up front that they've given us for that. That's to help with our greenhouse. So we're doing things like that in the district and just trying to really just improve things the best we can and try to have a little vision for what we may can do for the future. So this is kind of a little pet project that I want to stick with until I run into a brick wall and just realize maybe this is not worth it. But right now, we're going to give it a shot, like I said, and we got some folks trying to help us with that. So if you come across any grants or talk to anybody in town that may could help us, let us know, and we'll try to use them in any way we can. But in the end, I don't think it's a very expensive endeavor. You already own the property as the school district. All we got to do is clean it up and spend a little money on it and get it to where we can start using it and our kids can start using it. So again, we're thankful for the board of supervisors for providing us the gravel to start with our parking lot there. So any questions about that? So that's our update on that property. The next thing I would like to give you an update on is just personnel. I just want to recognize our principals and the hard work that they've done, and I want to thank the board for the special meeting that it called a couple of weeks ago to help us get some of these new hires done. As you know, we added a new hire at the last minute tonight, so we've gotten lucky and got some folks from some other districts that's going to be a part of us here in North Pike. And I would just say to you that I think we only have one opening left in the district at the junior high. I know that the upper is full. I think maybe there's one left at the lower. We've allotted them 36 teacher units. They've been operating with 35. So we have 35 hired or coming back and just kind of looking for that extra one if the right person shows up. I think the high school is good. We do have 2 or 3 SPED openings, but that just was reduced tonight because you just accepted a hire from another district on SPED. So I'm real proud of that. Proud of their work. 92% of those who were issued contracts turned them back in. Teachers, 100% of our administrators and directors turned theirs back in. So I just want to kind of go back to the 90%. We do know that some let us know that they were retiring ahead of time. They didn't get a contract. So that 92% is basically those that we put a contract in their hand. It does not include folks that may have let us know ahead of time. So anyway, I think that's a good number. That's part of our 5-year plan, so we'll come back and revisit that and look at that a little bit more carefully in June. So that's your personnel update, and certainly want to thank you for working with us on that. The last item, Mr. Jackson's board policy review D through F, that's what you had the past 30 days. I'll just be very brief with these. I did have a couple of board members send me some things. Just give you some indication. Our policy says that we will provide supervision to students 30 minutes prior to instructional time. I never knew that was in there, and I don't think any of you ever knew it was in there. But 2 of our schools are abiding by that. 2 are 10 minutes off. We've already met with that, and we're going to adjust that and make that right moving into next year. So again, that's one of those things. If you'll bring those things to our attention, we'll certainly make it right, or we'll change the policy one way or the other. So that's one we can just adjust on our own and keep moving forward. The other one, we had a policy dealing with student medication, where students cannot self-administer their own medication. Well, the problem with that is you have statute out there that allows kids who have inhalers to administer their own medication, and even with our kids that are diabetic. So we'll have to clean that one up. If you recall, we said, or we agreed that we would do this in June, and I'd bring those back to you in one lump sum in July and fix them. The other was, this policy dealt with allowing parents to come in and sit with their kid rather than be suspended. I don't know if y'all remember that or not. I think we used to do that back in the day, but that violates our classroom visitor policy. So we had two policies there that kind of contradict. But that's why we do this, and that's what we'll clean up. The other thing, a couple others that were brought to my attention regarding the sex offender list. We do follow that, and we do check that, obviously, and we follow that basically based on whatever criteria we have, whatever court order that we may have for that particular parent. So it's not unusual to have one or two in our district, and from time to time we will. So there was a question on that. The other dealt with the school safety, emergency preparedness. I think we're good on that. We have those in the building, at the building level. And one policy which requires all coaches, all head coaches to be at all home sporting events. Well, Mr. Jackson's been here a long time. He doesn't ever recall doing that as a coach. So I don't know why that's in the policy, but it's been there for a while apparently. We don't require that of our head coaches. So we'll just strike through that, remove that moving forward into July. So that's the reason we look at these policies, and hopefully once we get them a little bit cleaner, we won't have so many of these things kind of pop out at us. None of this is major. It doesn't stop us in the tracks and make us have to reverse course tonight, but we do want to make it right and clean them up. So that's where we are with policies, and I do appreciate your time on that. And Mr. Jackson, that's all I have.
Do we need to for those? Are we doing all those?
All of those will be in.
We're just gonna vote
Change it
in.
one time.
Change it one time.
All right, can I get a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Meeting is adjourned.
Thank you very much.